Welcome to SpiceCandies. A subscriber requested me to make honey candies. Well, that's real honey. Now, if your honey does not coagulate or condense in the winter, then it's not real honey. Sorry to tell you. Real honey and only real honey, that means honey that was not added with sugar, turns into an opaque mass in the winter. And our winter here is mild, very mild, 10 degrees plus Celsius. So it doesn't take much to get your honey from a liquid mass to a frozen mass. As it so happens, I have 2 jars, and it's the very same honey from the very same beekeeper, same hives. And this is a summer honey or spring honey, and this has gone through the winter on the left. Okay, that's how it's supposed to look. I'm saying this because many people tell me, oh no, it's not right, it should be liquid. No, it's not. So what do we have here? We have our corn syrup. This is a corn syrup free recipe. I have a corn syrup included recipe as well, but that's for later times. Instead of the corn syrup, we're going to do something a bit more fun. We have a small washed apples. There we go. As you can see from the skewers there, I'm really accurate when I stub these. Make sure to cut the tip of the skewer so nobody would get stabbed. Just take that and stick your skewer in there. Try not to protrude like I do. And there you go. And we're going to coat these in honey. There's a tradition of eating apple with honey on New Year's Eve. So this is apple coated with honey candy. We'll need quite a bit of candy to coat the apples. So I'm making 1 cup of sugar and 1/3 cup of honey. There is a catch. The catch is that honey contains a lot of water. That's why we have to cook it from the beginning. Catch number 1. Catch number 2, at 150 degrees Celsius, the standard temperature for a candy, your candy is going to be sticky. It's not going to be fully hardened. You'll have to reach 160 degrees Celsius. That means 320 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? There's a catch. If you overdo it, if you get above 160 degrees Celsius, you'll start to caramelize your candy, and that will ruin the flavor of the honey. So you have to be spot on. You have to hit the right temperature and stop at the right time. Okay? Enough talking, let's get started. We'll start with the sugar. 1 cup, 200 grams. And you don't need that much because I'm using this much for the apples. They'll take quite a bit of candy. Now, we're adding the honey. Very simple, fast recipe. You'll love the flavor. This is real honey. Commercial candies in my place contain 0.1 to 0.2% honey. This is the real stuff. Okay, I'll add an equal amount of water. Like so. And mix it well. There we go. Put it on high heat. on the smallest burner. Center your burner so you know you're exactly in the right spot. You don't want it to overheat the sides, just the bottom. That's critical, otherwise the sides would caramelize and ruin the flavor of your candy. As you can see, it bubbles in the beginning quite a bit. You may have to stir it to avoid spillage. Whoop! Ah! Okay, mental note, I need a bigger pot. Okay, and clean up. Sugar burns. Okay, I suspected that this pot shouldn't do with all the boiling, but I wasn't ready for it. I'll let it cool off. We'll switch a pot and see what else damage I can do. See you in a minute. One tip, if you got a candy spill, make sure to clean it as soon as possible. Make sure not to burn yourself in the process. After all, no damage, no real damage was done. Our candy will keep on boiling. As soon as we lose most of the water, this reaction will calm down a bit. Just a bit, not too much. We're at 130 degrees Celsius. Let me check that. Yep. 270 Fahrenheit. And it's not as frothy as before. I've lowered the heat to medium and I'm taking measurements constantly. $157. As soon as you reach 160, I'll take it off the heat. There we go. See you at the table in a minute. I'm letting it cool a bit. You can start to see the candy. Very liquid. There's a wonderful aroma of honey, and I also usually get visitors, 2 to 3 bees every time I make this. Okay, we're at 120 degrees Celsius and it's getting hard. I'll just dip the apple, allow the excess to drip. Believe me, you don't want too much because you'll break your teeth on these. Backed up by the apples, they're getting really hard. Any candy, that doesn't matter if it's honey or not. I'm cooling it by a fan. Sorry, it's off camera. I know you can't see it. I think one's ready. Let me get a spoon and give it a nudge. I'll cool it by the fan for a minute and let it harden. Now if you have any, make sure the apples don't touch, by the way. If you have any gaps, well, you can fill them like that. Not ideal, yes I know, but it works. And you can decorate those just like that. Our candy is rather sticky, thick. I can turn off the fan and get my parchment paper over here and pour. Okay, I've got to hurry, or these will harden before I can cut them. Multitasking, it's not always possible. And there we go. Candies and apples. Well, we didn't get all the candy out, but we got most of it. That's the important stuff. Our apples are kind of cool. I like those. Very sweet. Now we need to cut these. And these are electricians' wire cutters, and they work wonderfully. Oh boy, we got it stuck. The mishaps you get. Okay, let go. Not too much damage. My camera battery died. I think Mr. Murphy is pretty pleased because he's done his worst today. So we can continue with ours. I'm chopping the tips, or mid actually, of the sticks. Make them long but not too long, and if there's extra candy you can always break it off. If you don't have a bag and if you don't have a box that is airtight and can store the candies without allowing moisture from the air to enter the box or container, put them in the fridge. That's the simplest way, simplest solution. Any box will do. The fridge will dehydrate these. It will not allow water to enter the candy. Well, as it so happens, I don't have a box or container either. So I'm using this container. It's quite open to the air. What I'll do is I'll place some parchment paper over there. Let's move these over here. And place it with the apples. And we'll just store them. And make sure they don't touch each other. I did say try not to allow them to touch, or they'll stick like this. Mr. Murphy is around here somewhere, hiding in the shadows. And I'll put it open just like that in the fridge. It's going to be just fine. Oh, this is going to be a snack. And these, well, you know the drill. We'll break them. Throw away the exotic ones. You don't want those stabbed into your palate. Really tough candies. That's because I poured too late. So it's rather thick over here. Actually, I really hope I'm in focus. because that's another thing where Mr. Murphy can do his charm. I think we're ready. Well, the control batch is really good. It's great, just like honey. These are fun, these are great, these are easy to make. These are really simple, fast, easy, and honey candies to make. I really love these. Although we had all the mishaps possible in the candy world, and Mr. Murphy is still working, I guess, at ruining something else today. Tonight, it's actually past midnight. Well, I really hope you enjoyed it. I truly enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Have a sweet day, and don't let Mr. Murphy let you down. Make these candies, enjoy these candies, they're great. See you soon.